learning to lead is obviously the thing that every driver wants to do.
In those moments, you go from, hunting to being the hunted.
Think about it as, being in the right situation, just hitting your marks, just count down the downshifting. That would just help you to stay focused on the task and do not think about that trophy at the end. That's a bad idea. We all made that mistake.
It is a kind of a tough thing, sometimes you get out into the lead and you all of a sudden get a bit overcome by the fact that you are leading the race, and you're then looking in the mirrors wondering, am I pulling away here, or are they sticking with me? Are they getting a toe off me? And it's all about just sticking to your rhythm, hitting your marks, and just executing like you have been doing to get yourself into the lead.
The biggest thing if you're leading a race to try and keep your focus is it's focus on yourself. Don't focus about where you are in the field. Don't focus on who's behind you or what's in front of you. Focus on what you're doing. Listen to your race car, listen to the racetrack, respond to the inputs that it's getting, and don't get in your own head about the fact that you're leading a race. That's not what's important. The only person that can beat you at that point is yourself.
You don't want to defeat yourself. And so that's what happens most often is guys get out, they get into the lead, they panic, they get a little nervous, and they make a mistake.
Yeah, it's tough to do though, because you're the one that is in the lead, and if you make a mistake, you threw it away.
It's all about being very neat and tidy and not being pressured into, making a mistake. But big exits are always a key when someone's following.
Obviously, people are following you, so they're seeing what you're doing, so they're constantly changing their lines, changing their brake points to kind of get the better of it, whereas you don't. You can't see what's going on behind you that well, and you don't have anything to gauge in front of you, so you're kind of setting the pace.
My biggest thing is always get off the corners. If you get off the corner, if you're struggling, but you can just get off the corners and accelerate well, it's gonna be hard for them to get around. If you try to roll too much speed, you get to the mid-corner, you try to go to throttle, you get some opposite lock, and you lose traction, you're leaving the door open for an opportunity for somebody.
If you've got enough of a cushion and you feel comfortable enough with the pace that you've got that you can back up a little bit to conserve tires, that's a huge asset. You don't have to be 10/10ths the entire race if you're leading and have a comfortable margin. You want to save some meat on those tires in case you get a late restart. You don't want to drive so hard so fast to build up a 10-second lead for it all to disappear and the guy in second have way fresher tires than you.
You can see in the mirror where the guy is strong and where he's going to attack you, so then you can make the car a little wider. You can change your line a little bit to screw with his head and try to get him into your rhythm. I think that's the key, is get the guy behind you into your rhythm so you can control him.
But you have to also sort of bear in mind that somebody might be catching up with you, or that they're going to be getting a toe off of you. So you've got to drive smart. You've got to be using all the cues and all the signals. You don't want to be throwing a race away by just not even looking in your mirrors and somebody sliding up the inside there and you just turning in on them.
You want to look at your mirrors right before you go into a brake zone just to make sure that they can't pop out and pass. And then I like to look at my mirrors right on exit to see if they have a run. And if they're not, then don't look in the mirrors, trying to focus forward and hit your marks.
You don't want to drive in your mirrors, but you want to use those in a smart way to take some clean air off of his front wing.
There's always a thing about making your car just that little bit wider. Just using up those little bits of road just to make sure that guy can't get by you or get a run on you. It's all those little things that you end up picking up through racing against very good guys with experience.
And then I got some really good advice when I was go-karting, and the guy just said, just place your car where they want to be. And I was like, so obvious, but so right.
Someone gets a run on you, you move to the inside. Obviously in IndyCar you have to move before he moves, otherwise you get a penalty. You just don't leave enough room for the guy to get up the inside. As soon as he moves the outside, you move out as well and leave him just a car width. So you have also a very, you're almost half on the rubber for braking, and you haven't tightened your entry of the corner for him to get a great exit.
You don't want to overdrive. If the guy's faster than you, it's so easy to get goaded into trying to drive faster, and as soon as you try, you end up making it worse.
Once you've led a lot of races and you've won races, it becomes that much easier. Winning the first can kind of come easy sometimes, the second can be a little bit harder, and then after that, you belong, you know that you can be there, and you know how to do it, and that mindset changes all of it.